Hey, what's happening, people? So today I just want to make a quick video on my story, my journey, how I'm 19 here in Dubai. Just explain everything, my whole journey for a lot of you guys. You'll be surprised that my journey is nothing special. I thank God for it all, but at the end of the day, myself, I was 16 when I left fourth year. I'm no different to any of you guys, so I thought I'd share this and see how it goes. So my journey starts off in primary school, where I was big into football and I used to get these match attacks. And they were kind of like a collectible. I did it for fun, but I used to trade them. And one day on my dad's account, I listed like a really rare card and it sold for 25 euro. And back then, at around 7 or 8, 25 euro was crazy. Top of the world, amazing. That was the kind of start to my, even though it was small, it was the start to my e-commerce journey, just making money online. Because like I've never done this before. I didn't even think it was possible. To skip a few years down the line, I was into YouTube, making some content. This was when I was like maybe 12, 13. And I was playing around with that. And I wanted to explore a way to kind of make money online. Because I was doing a lot of stuff online. I was making videos online. I was like making like YouTube logos online and like intros and stuff like this. So I was really online based. And I wanted a way to make money online. So I remember one day we were in the shops and my dad, he bought me like 20 euro worth of tripods and like just silly phone gadgets. And I listed them up on eBay to just try and make a few sales. Nothing sold. So that was my first proper introduction to e-commerce. That didn't really work. Then skip a few months down the line, I was out with a group of people and one of the guys that I was with, he had a battery case on his phone. Now this is a battery case by, like a battery case from Apple. I had like a battery pack on the back and it was a really cool idea. So I saw that and I was like, whoa, that's an amazing idea. I've never saw this before. So I researched it and I found Alibaba. And Alibaba is basically a site for wholesale, basically Chinese manufacturers selling their products on this website. So I searched up battery case and on my birthday, I think it was, I got, some money for a birthday present and I don't know how I got the money, but I ordered maybe 400 euro worth of stock, something really, really small, or like 200 or 300 euro worth of stock. Now, keep in mind, this was 14 or 15 now, I'm not quite sure, maybe 13 even. This big box of battery cases comes in, and back then that was a lot of money, like that was all my savings gone into this. Now I listed them up up on eBay, and they start selling maybe one a day, but to me it was like amazing. Now it was nothing crazy, it was just a cool concept. I knew that making money online was possible. I didn't have to go work a job and do manual labor. Now don't get me wrong, you still have to work crazy hours, but there was a different way to make money, basically. Making money online, selling these products to other people that would actually buy. So I would keep doing that. 400 went to maybe 500, 500 to 600 euro, 600 euro to maybe 800 euro every single month in revenue from these kind of battery cases. Nothing crazy, like it was really, really small. So eBay was cool. It was bringing in some good revenue from my age back then. But I wanted a bit more. I wanted to explore new things. So eBay was just a platform and I was relying on eBay itself. Then I found Shopify. Now Shopify is just a hosting platform where you can host a website onto, but I looked into that and then I set up my own Shopify store on my own website. Now this is the start to my e-commerce journey full on. This is where, I found that I could have my own website and run ads and make my own sales. I was more independent than just relying on one platform. So remember, I set up like a website. Now it was nothing crazy. And then I started running ads on, I believe, TikTok. I think I was making like organic videos at first, but then I went into paid, just really simple videos. Look what I got in the post, or look at this product that I got. And because it was so early, I got a few sales. And I still remember, the Shopify notification, it was cool. It was like the first sale on my own, not just relying on eBay. And from there, then I kind of just branched out, kept pushing forward with that. I started to expand my product line. Now this wasn't any crazy, I'm saying product line, it was like 2 products. And these were like little wireless earpods or earphones. And this is when I stuck my logo on it. It was just some made up logo. And then I pushed that a bit more. And that was the proper introduction. That's when I was like, this is really possible. I just want to keep doing this. And that's where I kept doubling down, doubling down. Now, when I'm saying doubling down, it wasn't anything crazy. Then I realized cash flow, it wasn't that good because I couldn't go I knew people in my space that were doing like 10, 20K days at this time. Now, this was maybe 2-3 years ago. It was like 10, 20K days was great. It still is. But I knew with me buying stock, I had to wait 2-3 weeks for that stuff to come in. And then it wasn't good for my cash flow. I didn't have a lot of cash flow, so I couldn't just order stock. I'd have to wait 2 weeks. Stuff would go out of sale and I'd have no inventory and I'd have like no revenue coming in. So I did a bit of researching and I found the fulfillment method, which is drop shipping. I can work with suppliers who are in China. They'll ship my products for near enough the same price as I was shipping, back at home. Because the postage at home is quite expensive. So I could ship the exact same product for near enough the same price. The only downside was there was a bit more in shipping times. It was a bit longer to be delivered to the customer. But in my eyes, I was saving on cash flow. I didn't have to pay until I made a sale. So that's where I got introduced to drop shipping. Then I did a bit more learning about how to find different products, not just staying on the one product, because your first product, you can get attached to it. So I was kind of attached. And then, so that was the e-commerce. That's how I got introduced to drop shipping. Now, this was all going on while I was in school. And I remember in fourth year, that's when I decided to, take a risk, because the summer prior, I stopped going out. And I just really focused in. And that journey itself, that was the start to all of it. This is where, I start getting a relationship with God, and I could have him by my side. And that's why I always, you see in my Instagram, I always give glory to God, because he has put me where I am today. So that was crazy. That was the introduction to drop shipping. Then it was like 6 months of just focused work. Like I did nothing except maybe go to the park every now and then, but nothing except that and work. Eat, work, give thanks to God, and go again. That was literally it. And I remember I was praying for a way. And then eventually, after 6-7 months of consistent work, then I hit my first winner in drop shipping. And then from there, everything, kept rolling in place. And I just went from there. I had a little office back at home. So I was just working. And then I met one of my friends who I moved to Valencia with. So this was crazy. How we met was, we knew each other, but we didn't know each other that well. And he texted me, he was like, there's an event in Dubai. And I was like, at this point, I'd never been to Dubai. Dubai was the place. So I was like, okay, let's just go. It's an opportunity, it's an experience. And then we got along well. I had the office back at home. He came to the office to get some work done. And then we were just kind of working. And then 1 month after, we were like, I want to leave. He said he wants to leave as well. And then boom. And then we started looking for places. And I remember the first place was Portugal. And then it was Spain. We were looking everywhere and we just didn't know where. So I prayed about it and we went to Spain, and then we didn't know where to go in Spain. So I was like, where should we go? I was praying about it. And then for some reason we were led to Valencia. Now, Valencia was cool. We spent 6-7 months there. It was amazing. Don't get me wrong. It was absolutely amazing. Just a change of environment out of back at home to this new environment where there's sun, new people, your own apartment. This was crazy. So the rent wasn't even too bad. Split between two, it was really affordable, so that was cool. Then kind of just focused in there, and then we had the place for initially 3 months, then we extended it till 7 months, and then from there we were like, where do we go? And that's when again we were like, where do we go? And then we went to Dubai. So we did a month in Dubai, see how it was, and Dubai was amazing. And then we moved to Dubai, and so that has been my journey up to date so far. And I also just have to say, I give full glory to God. It was him who got me here and met the people and met the places and put me in the right places to be able to get here. So for that, I have to give thanks to God. So without God, to be honest with you, I don't know where I'd be. I'd probably still be at home. So I really am here because of his plan. And since then, I've built a 7-figure e-commerce brand, and now I'm opening up Faith First, which is our program teaching others to do the exact same, which is a blessing that I'm able to do that, to help others, hopefully do the exact same that I'm doing. Again, I'm telling you, I'm nothing special. There's literally no difference between me and you. I'm not like some guy with a huge brain. All I did was just put in some work for a consistent amount of time, and and really just believed it, and I never gave up. You know, that relationship with God really allowed me to keep pushing forward. You know, it says, you know, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So I really do believe you can get anything done. So there's literally no difference between me or any of you guys. And I really do think if you put your head to it and you really believe you can do it, there's nothing stopping you except yourself. You just got to consistently put in the work. So yeah, that's basically my story. You know, I might have ranted on a bit, but that's basically it summed up. And yeah, again, I have that group, Faith First, which is helping others hopefully do the exact same, see success in e-commerce like I did. And I'm really just putting a lot of time and effort into helping others do the exact same. You know, I'm so blessed and grateful to be able to help you guys. So whether or not you're in Faith First, whether or not you decide to join, I will still be able to help you. Just send me a message on Instagram if you need some advice here, if you need some resources. I'm more than happy to help you. So if you need that extra help or you want to get into Faith First, go to the description and click that link or message me on Instagram. Whether or not, again, you want to get into Faith First, you can still always text me. I'm always open to just DMs and helping others. But yeah, that's been it. That's been my story, and I really hope you liked this video. So if you want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe. I don't want to sound like one of these YouTubers, but it will help a lot. So thanks again. I'll see you in the next one.